Okay, in the never-ending saga of my mic decides to have different settings every time I open this program, welcome to another video. If you hear anybody walking or talking in the background, no, you didn't. Thank you so much. Welcome to Character Corner episode. I forgot how to count. I'm just like my characters. Illiterate. I apologize entirely for what I just did. Today is Character Corner episode something. And today we're talking about Brook. Okay. I made the last name myself. Obviously. Can never say it. Brook Hungdra. Sorry. Maybe they need a different last name. Maybe I'm stupid. The answer is yes. Anywho, we're talking about Brook. Love them so much. Here's an important thing to know about Brook. Androgynous. I'm working on their character drawings right now, like their new updated ones. You can see old ones. I think they're on the Instagram. But yes, I didn't always have Brook androgynous. Obviously, this, if you're keeping track, if you're taking your notes, this has been a thing for most of my life. Everything changes a little bit all the time. But yeah, that's basically Brook. We're going with they, them pronoun. Before I get anybody like, hear me out, okay? 1, get a life. Who cares? 2, hey, it's actually a story-driven thing. You know, here's a little bit about Brook, okay? Just putting it out there. Brook is an oldest child in the poorest neighborhoods, trying to protect their little sister at all times, but also themselves. You know, they've gone through a lot. Brook's backstory is one of the saddest I feel like I've written, and I'm really proud of it, but we get into that later into the books. I'm not spoiling my own books here. I'm introducing you to people. Okay, so you'll eventually learn a little bit more about that part of Brook, but basically they fight, they train, they do everything. I mean, like, Syra is a big, like, I spar every day in the woods. Brook's is out of pure survival. The thing really about Brook is they are just described as this, like, a scary person. If you're like around school grounds and stuff, and then, oh, Brook's the only person that we can sit and fight with for the sparring lesson, you feel in danger. Like, that's just how it is. They're huge. Okay, I don't know if it's Mayer or Mayher. Ilona Mayer, from the Olympics, I think we all know her. She helped me so much in making a breakthrough with Brook's character design. Like, muscle mommy, but Brook is not a mommy. But like, that's, you get it. Brook should have like the biggest, just like, ooh, but not me, not my twig arms. Brook is huge because genuinely out of survival, they've had no choice but to fight and train and kill. Okay, that is the thing about Brook, is they are a scary person and they are very monotone. And I'm going to be very honest with all of you really quickly. I need somebody to hold my hand when I say this. I'm not holding anyone's hand when I say this. Someone needs to hold my hand. Help, please. I don't think it's any secret about me what phase I had a few years back. Okay? I think it's pretty obvious. There was a fan fiction. It was my favorite. It's one of the only fan fictions I've ever read myself. I don't do that, really. But if anyone knows about the Passerine, oh my god, if anyone knows about Passerine, you understand. And Brook The monotone, dry sense of humor, the scary individual, it is all very highly inspired. Okay? I'm just throwing that one out there. Brook has always been a character, but their actual character has been developed so much more from inspiration from other things. Obviously, that's how things work, okay? That's just how it works. That's the inspiration for Brook, right? They are scary, dry humor, monotone, just like really unnerving type of person. You never want to be on their bad side, blah, blah, blah. They've had to do whatever they can for survival. Here comes the pronoun thing, okay? I don't want to hear anything about it. Like, genuinely, I'm done with your shit. I'm sorry. Because it's a fictional world, right? So our modern day and our like current like struggles in all of that community, that doesn't like exist there, you know? Not as directly. Like in the fictional world, they don't have a name for it. They don't have a name for any of it because it's just people living, you know? So for Brook, as they've developed in life, as they've gotten older, they've felt less and less like the child that they started as. So for Brook, it's way more of an innocence thing. They look at their little sister and they see this precious little girl that they once were that, you know, and they don't see themselves in that at all anymore. And that's kind of like the underlying. And if any non-binary individuals are like, that feels wrong to me, let me know. I'm open to whatever. This is how I see my character. If anybody has a problem with it, you're bringing modern day issues into a fictional world that doesn't exist. So maybe you need to get a life. Anywho, I think a lot of people will like them. I think once Brook gets to develop more through the books and as people read more about them, I think they'll really become like a fan favorite. I really do see that. Can you not love older, hardened sibling taking care of little, bubbly, outgoing sibling? Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Right? Like, what are we doing? I get to tell you about Brook's Enneagram number because once again, I'm going to talk about sleeping at last more than anybody wanted me to. So, Brook's Enneagram number is the number 8. And that one is a rough one. Enneagram 8. The challenger, the protector. Again, I don't look up this stuff first. I listen to the song and I throw it in their character playlist. So that already is blowing me away. It's a personality type characterized by a need for control, independence, and a strong sense of justice. They're typically self-confident, decisive, and assertive, driven by a desire to protect themselves and others from being vulnerable or controlled. While they are natural leaders who confront injustice, they can also be intimidating and struggle with showing vulnerability. Right. Isn't that just like so cool? We love Brook so much. At least I know I do. And again, this was written a lot with me as a child. So Brook is actually named after my dog. Not my current one. I think we've all seen Venus. She's appeared a few times. But no, the dog I had before Venus, her name was Brook. And that is where I got the name. As a child, I didn't know the name Brook ended with an E. I had no idea. For my dog, anytime I'd write out my dog's name, I would just put Brook ending in a K. And that's how I wrote it in the book. And that's how it will stay. I don't care. If there's anything that I've like learned throughout, when I was first like writing, I was a child. And I was telling my dad, I was like, I don't know how to spell this name. And he said, well, you're making it up. You can spell it however you want. And I've been writing on that since 4th grade. So I encourage you all to find Passerine It was on AO3. I couldn't find it anymore. I like earlier this year reread it on Wattpad. Somebody re-uploaded. I don't want to hear anything, okay? If you haven't read Passerine, read Passerine. And then forget that you read Passerine, because I don't think I could write anything as good as Passerine. But I still have the essence of a specific character that is dry humor, monotone, and scary. And then just know you'll understand Brook a little bit more in that moment. Brook's character design has changed a lot. Again, Alona, thank you so much, queen. If you read this and you love Brook, Brook's your favorite character, you have to go DM Alona Mayer and then thank her. So I don't make the rules. Brook has long, like, dirty blonde hair. And forever, Brook's hair was just, like, in a ponytail. That was always how, like, the character designs went. But then I was like, wait, they're scary and they, like, I don't know. So, you know, like the Viking hair with all the braids? Very Viking hair, but like dirty blonde. Then, you know, symbolism. Their little sister's hair is like bright bleach blonde. Get it? They wear their clothes as if they're always about to be in battle. Like any, like, protective outer shell, like, that is really how they are. And it's very interesting when reading. It is important for the audience to really note when Brook is armorless. Don't want to be on the other end of Brook, but when you are their friend, it is like you don't have to worry about anything for the rest of your life because you know you've got Brook. Thank you guys so much for keeping track, sticking with, and watching all the character corners. Good book news is I finished the first round of editing. I need to keep on editing the final, like, 5 chapters. They're kind of the newest. So I just need to really polish those up, and yeah, I'll be sending it out to places soon. So thank you guys so much for, again, sticking with and following along to everything. But book 1, keep your eyes peeled. I promise it's on its way. So again, thank you guys and love you. Subscribe.